Call of Duty, America's game. A juggernaut and a staple in the FPS genre since it was released in 2003. A game that continuously outdid itself year after year. Between its story mode, multiplayer, and the very successful addition of its zombies game mode, the quality and the amount of content being delivered for $60 was some of the best value in the FPS genre, but it has not felt this way recently. The COD experience now is much different than it was in its prime, and with the release of Black Ops 6 right around the corner, I wanted to take a look at where it all went wrong for COD. Two quick notes before I start. One, for this video, I'll only be talking about Call of Duties released from 2007 to current day. The main reason I'm doing this is because these are the Call of Duties that people most associate with, since the game really started to blow up in popularity around the release of 2007's Modern Warfare. Second, I'm going to be praising many of the early games, since those were obviously the peak of Call of Duty's existence. So many of the early games I'm going to be very positive about, but anything after Modern Warfare 3, there's going to be a much needed tone change to talk about anything after Modern Warfare 3, so be ready. Oh, and one more thing, click that subscribe button down below to support the channel. I'd very much appreciate it. Now with that out of the way, let's go back to 2007. Modern Warfare. This game kicked off the COD boom in a huge way. The overall game being offered here was basically a perfect package. The story, although short, had a ton of great missions, and it was really fun to play through. They were all very well paced and packed in tons of great action sequences, except that one mission.
Yeah, clear to engage. Kaboom. Take cover. Alright, you got the guy.
Now moving on to the multiplayer. The multiplayer at the time was very free-flowing and smoother than many other FPS games out there. The custom class-based system allowed the player to choose whatever weapons they wanted, rather than being forced to use a class pre-made by the game. Also, the new perk system added a nice layer of depth to the game and gave the players more of a choice when it came to choosing a style of play rather than a standard role. The progression system was straightforward. New levels meant new weapons and perks, and that was it. Unfortunately, there wasn't many kill streaks in this game, but there wasn't really a need for much more at the time. The ones that were given to us were great. The multiplayer also had S-tier map design, with iconic maps like Crossfire, Shipment, Vacant, and Crash being some of the best maps in the franchise to date. Modern Warfare was just an overall fantastic and next-gen experience in every aspect, and this game really set the foundation for future CODs to build on, and built that foundation with fucking steel. World at War was the next big entry in the COD series, and this game fucking slapped. This is my personal favorite game in the series for many reasons, which I'll get into. The overall vibe of this COD was much different than Modern Warfare. This is because it was set in a more gritty time period, which was shown through its more graphic gameplay, allowing players' body parts to get blown the fuck off. The story mode in this game was super fun, especially playing through it on co-op. All the missions in this game were bangers, and playing two different characters on two different fronts of the war kept the missions very interesting and fresh. On the multiplayer side, things were great. It had great gameplay, really good maps, some of the best guns in the series like the PPSH, MP40, and the Thompson, as well as fun new tools to use like Bouncing Bettys. Fuck those things. But where this game becomes my favorite is the introduction of the Nazi Zombies game mode. This game mode to me at the time was god tier. Dropping into a random map solo or with friends to fight off hordes of zombies to simply survive was amazing. And when they started adding extra zombies maps through the map packs, it was game over. This game mode was probably the best thing to ever happen to the franchise, and it went above and beyond in future CODs. I could pretty much go on forever about this COD, but I'll cut myself off here. This game was just another banger under COD's belt, and it led me to sink thousands of hours of my time into the game, and I enjoyed every second of it. Moving on to Modern Warfare 2. This was another amazing game in the franchise, and it's easy to see why many players consider this one of the best, if not the best COD ever made. It had a great campaign, a fun new side game mode Spec Ops, really good multiplayer maps, probably the best lineup of guns in any of the games, lots of kill streaks, and much more. The new perk progression system was also really good, allowing you to unlock enhanced versions of the perk you were using at any given time. This game was just really refined and felt really good to play compared to most CODs. Also, those welcoming and judgment-free COD lobbies offered the player a place where they could feel safe and part of a heartwarming community, which just made the whole experience even more special for the player.
Pussy. Right. Yum, 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 I eat dick all.
I'm keeping this one quick and simple, but just know this game lived up to the hype and delivered a game that fans of the franchise absolutely adore. Black Ops 1. The start of the multi-game franchise Black Ops came out in 2010, and to no one's surprise, it was another smash hit. This COD yet again came packaged with a good story mode, a great multiplayer that had great maps, solid guns and gunplay, and the addition of very fun new game modes like Gun Game and One in the Chamber, which added an arcade-like feel to the multiplayer, kinda like what Infection did for Modern Warfare 2. Also, we see the return of zombies in a big way. The base game included 3 maps right from the start, even though one of them was a top-down arcade-style zombies map, which to everyone's surprise was fucking great. We then continued to get blessed with the 4 maps that were included in the game's DLC. And on top of that, the game's final DLC, Resurrection, was an all zombies DLC, which brought back the original maps from World at War and made me blow a load in my pants. But anyway, Black Ops Zombies also took the opportunity to introduce more elaborate Easter eggs, which allowed the player to start uncovering the interesting, yet confusing story around the Zombies universe and the main characters within. Needless to say, all this contributes to another banger from the COD franchise. The next CODs released in the franchise were Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2. These two I'm going to speedrun through because they mostly succeeded on the momentum and popularity of their predecessors, while in the end still making objectively very good games. Modern Warfare 3 was very good, but ultimately not as good as Modern Warfare 2. As for Black Ops 2, the multiplayer is pretty good, although I do prefer Black Ops 1 multiplayer, but it did over-deliver in its zombies mode, which blew Black Ops 1 zombies out of the water. And something that's somewhat important with these two entries was this was when they started to forget about the quality and importance of the story mode, which may be a problem for some people and not for others, but do with that information as you will. Moving on to COD Ghosts. Here comes that tone change I was talking about. This one was where things started to go bad for COD. This was because Ghosts was the first COD that was largely disliked by the fans, but people still bought it anyway because, you know, it's Call of Duty. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. It was just very eh. Ghosts is kind of like the awkward kid at the COD cool table. It can sit there, but the other CODs know who really shouldn't be there. The game just prioritized the wrong things, like a campaign with fish AI and a cool dog. Like now all of a sudden we're playing a fucking zoo simulator. The whole story side of things was just dumb and made no sense because they forgot about it for the last 2 CODs, and now this super next level AI god dog is just supposed to make the campaign good again? No. It's a COD game. You need to focus on the multiplayer, and they just didn't do that, and it was very apparent. Because thinking back on it now, I almost remember nothing about the multiplayer. Like the fucking guns, the fucking maps, none of it. I remember there was a nuke in there somewhere, but that's about it. Oh, and in front of that map that has the gas station, the roof above the pumps, it fucking falls down, creating a brand new environment, just like Battlefield. Like, Jesus Christ, is this a fucking joke? Like, if anyone saw that and genuinely thought, like, oh my god, I'd be shocked. I also remember DLC weapons being more of a thing in this game, which I know Black Ops 2 was the first to do it, but this game kind of capitalizing on that. It was pretty fucking stupid. But this game shifted a lot of people's opinions about COD overall. Me obviously being one of those people, but little did we know what treats we had on the horizon. Advanced Warfare. The first time people saw the trailer for this game, they rubbed their eyes to make sure what they were seeing was real. This was not at all a representation of the gameplay that the series originally brought to the table, and Advanced Warfare went for more of a poor man's Titanfall type of game. I borrowed this game from a friend and played for like 2 hours because I thought, I might as well give it a try, but I just wish I left it untouched. This game, just like Ghosts, was very forgettable. Not even the man himself, Kevin Spacey, could save this game. And besides the movement being fluid and kind of fun, there wasn't any maps, guns, or features that stood out about the game, just like Ghosts. So they pretty much continued to worsen their original gameplay loop, which was already getting pretty stale. But at this point, I started to become a COD hater, and pretty much thought the franchise was done for me at least. But in the end, I, like many people, was hoping this game was more of like a one-time experiment that COD was trying out, and that they would return to their roots with the next release. And even though those roots were filled with mediocrity, anything was better than this. Black Ops 3, COD's golden franchise at this point. I'm not going to go super in-depth on this one, but I will be the first to say this game was kind of a diamond in the rough. And what I mean by that is there is no question that this COD is head and shoulders above every COD from Ghost to 2023's Modern Warfare 3. Not even close. It's the diamond ring that was found in a pile of dog shit, which is kind of weird because people were so mixed about the gameplay and jetpacks added in Advanced Warfare, yet not so many people complained about its use in Black Ops 3, and I am among those people. I just think the jetpack use in Black Ops 3 was better. Not a lot better, but still better. And when you pair that with decent multiplayer maps, good guns, and the implementation of an operator system, it makes it a far more appealing package among the CODs that are set in a futuristic setting. And don't forget, a new Black Ops means new zombies. And as usual, zombies remained amazing. There was a lot of gameplay changes to the mode, and a huge focus on taking the Easter eggs to another level. This was by far the most thought out and different zombies experience that has been included in a COD game, which made the game a no-brainer for me to buy because zombies is my favorite mode the game has to offer. I even bought the Juggernog edition for this game, and even though the mini fridge worked like shit, it was pretty fucking cool. The overall reception of this game was very good, and most people thought COD was back, baby. There's no way they could fuck it up now.
Very, very careful to preserve the core of what makes Call of Duty just the best shooter out there.
Yep, this game, Infinite Warfare. COD basically went skydiving without a parachute on this one. From the second the first trailer dropped for this game, it was hated. And if the initial public reaction wasn't bad enough, EA added some salt to the wound by dropping the Battlefield 1 trailer, and it immediately led people to compare the two. And as long as you had a pair of eyeballs, you knew a game looked better. So this game was done before it even came out. And the only hope this game had was the COD 4 remaster that the game was going to come with. But even with that remaster, when the game finally did come out, to no one's surprise, it was very bad. Not even the hardcorest COD fans could stand up for this game. But where I personally was most disappointed was in the zombies. Before this game, zombies was flawless in my book. Now, for the first time ever, I just wasn't excited to play it. And even when I did get to play it, it did not hook me nearly as much as the other ones, which was beyond heartbreaking. They also somehow managed to fuck up the only selling point of the game, which was the remastered COD 4. They added fucking loot boxes to Call of Duty 4. It's like they dedicated themselves to making every aspect of this game trash. It's actually pretty impressive. They should have just brought this game out to the back of the barn and shot it. That would have been a much better option than releasing it. And this is really where the franchise lost all my respect. Now, to keep going and breaking down each COD game from this point on would be a genuine waste of time. The games have been on a constant decline, and the best thing I could say the franchise has changed recently is the gunplay and movement mechanics. Well, those sound like pretty significant improvements, right? Nope. And this is because the recent CODs have had the absolute worst map design possible to complement its new movement mechanics. It's like someone served a dog shit milkshake with the top of the line steak, and you're like, wow, that steak looks great, but that dog shit milkshake is kind of making me lose my appetite. And that's exactly what's happening here. And here's where I'll be talking about Modern Warfare 3 for a little bit as a prime example of this. Those Modern Warfare 2 maps that they're using in Modern Warfare 3 are not designed for this type of movement at all. They were designed around a much slower type of gameplay. So playing any of these maps in general is an absolute clusterfuck, especially at any hotspots in the map. And again, it's not that these Modern Warfare 2 maps are bad, but they don't belong here with the speed at which this game is intended to be played. And now, since I started to shit on this game in particular, I might as well continue to shit on it. The progression system in this game and the recent CODs are designed by cross-eyed dipshits. Having to use other guns to unlock certain attachments for the gun I'm currently using is the dumbest shit possible. It just doesn't make any sense. That's like if I was learning how to ride a bike, and in order to take my training wheels off to progress, I was required to build a fucking shed. Like, get the fuck out of here. That has nothing to do with that. It's just so garbage. And speaking of garbage, the zombies mode in this game makes me want to huff glue till my eyes roll in the back of my head. If you would have showed old me that this would be a zombies mode that would be included in a future COD game, I would have said the video's fake and you need help. Literally anything would have been better. I would have taken another Dead Ops. And you might be thinking, man, this guy's focusing so much on the zombies part of COD throughout this video. And as I've said before, this is because zombies has been my favorite part of COD for a while now. What they were adding to zombies throughout the years was much more interesting than what they were adding to the multiplayer. Plus, I guarantee that every COD player has heard, I just buy it for the zombies, and I'm one of those people. And what they're doing to the zombies now is absolutely heartbreaking for me. I won't even cover the campaign for this game because why would I do that? And so yeah, I think overall Modern Warfare 3 was a great example of why COD is dog shit these days. Now, can Black Ops 6 save the franchise? Probably not. Every year COD announces its new game, it always looks like this is going to be the one, and everyone gets so excited because COD's back, and then they play the new one, and it's the same as the last one. Shocking, I know. But I will say Black Ops 6 has a pretty good shot at some redemption. I'm still not going to expect too much from the multiplayer, because that would be stupid. But I just want better maps if it's going to use the same movement mechanics and a better weapon progression system. That's it. If I get those, I'll somewhat be happy. They also have to nail the zombies. It is not an option to fail there. So zombies has to be great, and if the multiplayer's good, that's a nice bonus. COD's got a long list of things to do before it earns my trust back, so we'll see if it's able to do that before Black Ops 12 comes out. But that wraps up this video. If you stuck through till the end, thank you very much. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.